It was one of those evenings where the wind spoke louder than the silence, rattling the wooden shutters of the old ranch house. The sun had barely dipped below the horizon, leaving behind streaks of amber and violet in the sky, painting the land in a melancholy glow. That's when the knock came, sharp, hesitant, and somehow urgent. When I opened the door, I wasn't prepared for what I saw. Two young girls, no more than 9 or 10, stood there bundled in hand-me-down coats, their cheeks flushed from the cold. They looked almost identical, big hazel eyes, freckles scattered like dust across their noses, and long braids that swayed with every nervous shuffle of their feet. One of them, the slightly taller one, cleared her throat and spoke with a voice trembling between fear and courage. "Sir, we heard you needed a man on the ranch. Our papa loves you." For a moment, I just stood there, my hand still on the doorknob, my mind trying to make sense of their words. "Your papa loves me?" I finally asked, the words awkward on my tongue. They both nodded, and the smaller one, who clutched a worn-out stuffed rabbit in her arm, added, "He says you're the best man he's ever met, and he thought, maybe you'd let him help, and maybe we could help too." Now, before I tell you what happened next, I want to say this. Sometimes life throws you moments that shake you awake. Moments you can't explain, but you just know you'll never forget them. And if you're still here listening, I promise you this story will touch your heart in ways you might not expect. So, if you believe in second chances, in hope showing up at your door when you least expect it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. This one's worth staying till the end. I invited them inside. The old ranch hadn't felt this alive in years. The air was filled with the faint smell of hot cocoa I'd left simmering on the stove, and as they sat by the fire, the girls slowly began to open up. Their names were Lily and June. Their father, Daniel, had been a ranch hand years ago, back when my late wife was still alive. He was younger then, quiet, but steady, the kind of man who always gave more than he took. Life, as it often does, had been unkind. His wife had passed 3 winters ago, and since then, Daniel had been doing odd jobs, moving from one small town to another, always trying to give his daughters a home, even if it was temporary. They had been living in a small, drafty shack on the far side of the valley, and when Daniel heard through an old friend that I was struggling to keep the ranch running alone, he must have told the girls, because here they were. I told them I'd think about it, but as I watched the girls fall asleep on the couch, curled up under one of my late wife's quilts, I knew my answer already. The next morning, Daniel arrived. He was older now, with more lines on his face and a weariness in his eyes, but when he shook my hand, the same quiet strength was there. He didn't come to ask for charity. He came ready to work. We didn't speak much at first. Men like us didn't need to. The work spoke for us. Winter was harsh that year. Fences had to be mended, cattle fed, and the barn roof patched before the snow piled too high. The girls followed us everywhere, eager to help. Lily learned how to collect eggs without scaring the hens. June insisted on brushing down the horses until their coats gleamed. And in the evenings, when the work was done, we'd all sit by the fire, Daniel strumming an old guitar while the girls sang along to songs their mother used to sing. It was during those nights I realized something. I hadn't just hired help. I had stumbled into a family I didn't know I needed, and I think Daniel realized it too. But every story has its trials. One stormy night in late February, a blizzard rolled in. The wind howled like a living thing, snow blinding everything beyond a few feet. Around midnight, I heard the frantic lowing of cattle. The herd had broken through a fence. If we didn't act fast,